All right, cool. What's your name? What's your question?
My name is Vivian. My question is, how can I fully submit or mentally prepare a man who is immature or not quite mentally on a grown-up level for a good relationship or a good God-fearing woman?
How can I fully submit? Is that like, how can I, like, ain't no way? Or he's a good man, Savannah, so let me go ahead.
Can I ask you a question? And I know everybody about to jump in, but I'm gonna ask you a question. And this is to the women and to the men, but I'm talking to you. How can you fully submit in a place where it's not safe? When there is not a know-how, where there's not direction, where there's not stewardship, where this man is not a servant of a family, when this man has not shown you first by his actions that he has the capability to lead and shield you from not just the world, but from himself. Oftentimes, you will find men that will protect you from every which way but their own anger, or their own unfaithfulness, or their own lack of discipline. This man is the storm inside your house, and you asking how you can submit to that? What I'm saying is sometimes you ain't got a I can't submit problem. You got a I found the wrong submit to problem. And when you have to ask these questions, how can I build him up? God made you a queen. He gave you a crown, not a construction hat. That man did not give you a tool belt.
Amen.
That man gave you high heels, not steel-toe boots. But here you are getting on your hands and feet, trying to Humpty Dumpty a man back together again. All I'm saying is, you will feel it naturally for a man that's in his masculinity and leading the right way. And for all the men in here that's about to look at me sideways, no, you know it's true. You know there's points in your life where you had to argue back and forth with a woman about what you wanted her to do because your actions didn't influence her to naturally do it for you. But when you got your house in order, your life in order, your maturity in order, you came emotionally safe, now she wants to. It happens. When something happens, she looks at you and you earned that. What I'm saying is, find a man that already is. And if you got a building, that man ain't. Anybody else?
Yeah. Before y'all go, can I just ask how old you are and how old this man is?
We're both 26.
Babies.
That's cute.
I know, right?
Aww. Here's the thing. This may be controversial to say, but there's a lot of women that have a God complex. We look at men as projects for us to raise, mold, build, heal, reach their next levels. Baby, that is not your job. You are not God. You're asking questions that's not for you to ask because that's not your ministry. You don't have that power to do that for nobody. There's certain things that only God could take people through. God builds certain chapters in people's lives for them to go through to mature on their own. God leads people through certain lessons for them to learn through and become the best versions of themselves. We have a God complex that is within us as women to say, if I just love him enough, then I can lead him this way. If I support him enough, then I can push him that way. It's manipulative when you think about it. Because you're not doing it for the benefit of the man, you're doing it so that you can get the benefits out of the man he may become. If you love somebody, you love them while they're learning. You don't try to love them into their learning because that's a form of control and manipulation. It's a God complex. It really is. And I'm speaking from experience because I've done it. I'm a full-on Leo. And I used to think I had the power within me. My love is so strong and passionate, I could lead you to your higher self. I am not God. I'm not. All I can do is exist in my fullness and support you in yours and let God do the work on you that he gonna do.
Hold on, one more thing, just quickly. And you don't know how to work a hammer. You don't.
I don't.
You don't know how to work a saw. You don't know how to move a nail, nothing. About you says construction. And when you, hold on, and what I mean by this is figuratively. We don't be knowing how to build people. And we be swearing we do, but we don't. And when we don't even have the skills to do this because we think we love them, that's gonna magically give us skills to heal and build people, what do? What do you do when you work a hammer and you don't know how? You hurt your own self. Y'all handling broken people and wondering why you keep getting cut. You don't know. Half of us are only trying to heal other people because we ain't first healed ourselves. That's the reason you are drawn to this person. This person is not your leader, it's your distraction from the work you ain't did with yourself. And I guess what I'm saying is, if you gonna build somebody, build you. Because a build, healed version wouldn't have picked him in the damn place. All right? What's up?
Yeah, I just say this too, like, you can't submit to a you gotta help raise. And I think a lot of women be feeling like, I can love a nigga into being the man that I need him to be. And that's not reality. Like, when you run into a man that's actually meant for you, it's gonna be infrastructure set up for you to walk into. Not for you to walk into, as bro said, with a construction hat and a tool belt. No, the infrastructure is already going to be created. He's already going to be disciplined. He's already going to be decisive. He's already going to be forward thinking, all of these things. So if you got to make the decisions for him, if you got to set the boundaries for him, if you got to set the guidelines for him, what the use of him being there? You might as well be by yourself.
Mike, what's up?
I'm sad.
Why?
You love him, don't you?
He's here.
He's here.
He's a good.
See, so I
Okay, Mike.
I do.
think what I've been witnessing is, I'll just go to the board, because I'm sad on the board too. But again, we've been traveling the world, and a lot of these questions are different than what they used to be even 4 or 5 years ago. And I'm getting more questions from women who are having trouble submitting to men, not because they can't provide financially for them, not because they can't protect them from a safety perspective, but it's because of maturity and emotions. Now, I don't know where you think we was as young black boys, but it wasn't working on maturity and emotional availability. Now, depending on how long you might have been with him, there might have been a version of you that didn't require that, but we also want to speak about the 26-year-old version of you that has that. But it sounds like you've probably been in a relationship with this man for some time, and as you improved, as you grew, what your desires for provision have grown. Now, that might have been growing in you, but the same way you might ask for provision in other ways, you didn't let them know about this new update, about the type of man. A lot of times women will watch our pod, they will read the quotes, they will take all of this information and learn that, damn, maybe love doesn't look the way it does, and then start expecting these things, but don't give the updates to the nigga that be kissing in the mouth. And then it builds up so long that you get frustrated, because now you understand what emotional maturity is and safety is, and you realize that, you know what, maybe I don't want to spend about me and give me something on the rent. Maybe I need more, but guess what? I didn't tell him until I got upset enough, and now I want to leave. You're not submitting to a human. You're submitting to a process. You're submitting to a future. You're submitting to the two of y'all becoming one, so you're really submitting to yourself. You're submitting to ego. You're submitting to pride. You're submitting to outside noise. And that's tough. And it cannot be answered based on what 5 or 6 people say to you for 30 minutes of your life. But I just want you to hear both sides of it, because it's so important. And I think a lot of women are growing emotionally, but they're not really displaying that to their partners until it's too late, until they realize they want something different. And you might have a good man that might just need you to be a blender one day. He might need you to be a cutting board. Be scared of the relationships where you only got to show up as yourself. I don't understand what kind of relationships that you're going to be that you think you could just be one type of person. Or how long of a union can you build where you only have to be one thing? You're going to need to be flexible. I think of love, I think as two people with a tool bag that got everything that they can to fix this house. It can't always be masculine in that way or feminine in that way.
Kitty, what's up?
I ain't finna get nobody. You think you more mature than him?
Definitely.
How?
Well, mentally, emotionally, I feel like I'm more mature than him
I got you.
Speak up a little louder, baby.
because I feel like I can express like how I feel and my feelings, and I feel like I can keep our relationship within our home. I don't think he's able to do that.
Okay. So then tell me his immature characteristics then.
I feel like he relies more on his friends for
Y'all
like,
let her talk. Give her a second.
for like his emotions. Like
Uh-huh.
he'll go back and forth. Like if he talks to me, if he talks to his friends, he'll feel two different ways based on for who he talks to last.
You ain't giving me enough, baby. The reason why I asked you those questions is because a woman who is mature will never entertain an immature man. Never will. And I think right now you're looking at a mirror. That's what I feel is happening. You're maybe trying to find your way out of it, but you're looking at a mirror right now. I can tell you just based off how you answer that question, you are not emotionally or spiritually mature yet. You sure can't lead him. You can't submit to him because I'm not sure what it is that you submit to. You can't teach him anything because you still need to be taught as well. Who's teaching you? What life experiences are helping you mature? Y'all are in your 20s. In your 20s, you feel invincible. You think you have it all together. You don't have it all together in your 20s, trust me. I think everybody who's beyond 20 can tell you that. You don't have it together. But I understand what you're saying. But let's just say that he is immature compared to you. You can't relax in a boy, as Trill was saying. Submission responds to something. As Ace was saying, submission responds to safety. But what if for a minute, you're not providing safety either? And that's the reason why you're getting the responses that you're getting from him. What if it was that way? You came to the mic. You told us y'all business. You said this man is here. You think that's mature? I want you to take some time to think about that, baby. I'm just saying, and I'm not trying to beat you. I promise you I'm not. I'm not trying to beat you, but I want you to take some time to look into the mirror. Because a lot of the things that we call out in other people are things that we need to call out in ourselves. So I think life experiences still need to help you mature right now. Okay? That's it, baby.
Thank you for your question. Now,
Ooh-wee. So, how do you submit, or how should a woman submit to an immature man?
You don't. Ooh. I ain't gonna lie. When she was asking the question, I mean, this is just me. You know, when I hear the word submission, I think about like submitting in marriage in a situation. I don't think about relationships, and because when I think about submission, I think about the things that you do, and why would you be doing those things to your boyfriend or girlfriend? That's just what I was thinking. Why are we submitting to people who we not married to? I think like I get leading up to the point, you got to show as a man that you're a person worthy to be submitted to in that way, or showing that you're a great leader and provider and all those things. I get that. But in the context of just relationally and how she was kind of describing it, I just think I ain't feel it. I just felt like this for married folk at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, the reason why it's not going to work is because you're not married and you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. If you shaking and baking and doing all the other stuff, you talking about he immature and blah, 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 and it's not working right because you're doing things out of order. When you do things in order, then the process of submission and everything will happen naturally, and you'll have a good leader and all these other things. But if you ain't got that, you doing stuff out of order, then you can't expect things to work how you want them to work. That's all I'm saying. What you got to say?
I feel the same way. You said it perfect. They shacking up. They not supposed to be shacking up anyway. Ain't no good gonna come out of that. The Lord's not gonna bless that, and he's not in it. I'm sorry. Ooh, some people feelings gonna get hurt with that one, but no, the Lord is not into things that don't go in his order. So if you having sex with this person, you living with this person, and they're not your husband, they not your wife, he ain't in the middle of it. And it's going to be a lot of confusion. It's going to be a lot of immaturity, and it shows. Do that backwards lifestyle they living. Come on now. So yeah, what you doing? You need to cut this thing off and go get you a place of your own. He need to go get a place on his own. Stand on your own 2 feet separately, and let the Lord lead you. Cause this what you're doing now ain't gonna bring no sort of order and peace.
It's true. And at the end of the day, I mean, if someone isn't mature up to your standards and level, then why is you with them in the first place? For as long as you've been with them, you know, most people want to have people, whether it's career, money, status, maturity, whatever, as the person that you already are. So if you supposedly are at this level where you can express and do what you're doing, then why are you still with somebody who's unable to do that at the end of the day? Why is it even in a question? So that's what I think. I don't know.
And the Lord, he gonna bring you somebody who's evenly yoked to you. You're not gonna be feeling like you smarter than them or more mature than them. You're both gonna be both doing your thing. It's gonna be evenly yoked. You're not gonna feel like you're carrying them or vice versa. So let the Lord choose for you, because it looked like she found this man and she trying to build this man to be what she want him to be, and he's not that. And the Lord ain't finished working on him. He's somebody husband, but the Lord ain't finished working on that man.
It's true. It's true.
So bounce back and let the Lord have his way with that young man, and you have your time with the Lord and let him build you up. And at the appointed time, he'll lead you to your husband will find you as a woman, and for the male, he'll be able to find his wife.
It's true.
Yeah.
It is true.
No shade to nobody, no shade, but we gotta tell the truth.
It's true. It's
Somebody
true.
gotta do it. Woo wee, y'all. Well, go check out stamps-tv.com if you haven't already. So much content on there. Free shows on there, as well as club stamps, our paid membership. Go check it out right now.
Yep, and while you're on there, go ahead and visit that Shop Stamps Apparel tab. We got great t-shirts, hoodies, just like these. Not hoodies, but these are t-shirts. But you know what I'm saying? We got great stuff on there, all Christian based. So go ahead, check it out, and get you a little something.
And go check out Stamps Essentials on the website. Click that tab on the website. So much to offer. We got shampoos, protein treatments, deep conditioners, leave-in conditioners, hair growth oil, hair grease, whipped shea butter for the skin. We got lip liners, and we also have our signature product, Stay Moist Coils hair system. It's a wash and go hair system, but you can also use it for twist, for single braids, and for perm rod sets. Okay, so go ahead and check it out. And this is all my hair, and all I use is Stamps Essentials to care for my tresses. Okay, you looking to get your hair to be fuller and longer and healthy, honey? We got you.
It's true. And it work on waves too. You see how we get down. That's all I use too. Holla.
We out.
See ya.